To hide her away. My people do not hide our emotions.
Alright, what's going on, everyone? So today we're doing another live stream. This one's going to be for Black Friday TV deal help. For anybody out there looking for it, I know this is a popular question. What TVs do you get? I mean, I've been getting a lot of messages about that lately, so I'll be going through and helping you with pretty much anything that you guys can need as you guys are coming on. Now, I'm a little under the weather today, full disclosure. I am not 100%, but that being the case, I still wanted to go ahead and help whoever I can, because I know I missed last week's live stream in a similar situation, not feeling the greatest. So if I at any point in time sound like I have low energy or like I'm dying or whatever the case may be, I'm just not doing the hottest right now. That being said, as you guys come on, if you have questions, feel free to ask and I'll help you find the right TV for you. A lot of deals are happening right now as far as OLEDs are concerned. For the guys looking for OLEDs, I saw a what was it? It was an E7. Yeah, the E7 from 2017. You can get that for like $1,100 right now. I know you've got the B7 just went on another sale again. So for those people that paid $2,000 for it, they got ripped off. And now it's $1,799 and $1,750 respectively. So that's something to think about as well. These prices are going to continue to just depreciate as time goes on, right? And I think it's important to understand what models are going to devalue as we continue to go past Black Friday, and that's what I'll be talking about. Big shout out to Alex for being the first comment of the night. What's going on, man? You said 75 TV recommendations, please. So for 75 inches, it really does depend. Just give me a little rundown on how you're using it. And also for everybody joining the live stream, if you guys can, keep your chats small, because I'm going to have a really hard time reading tonight, because I'm not doing so hot, but I am going to try to answer as much as I can. Think of it like we're texting, like you're texting me, and just kind of keep it short and sweet and to the point, and I can answer all of you guys a lot faster that way. Now we've got Mike. I'm sorry, Mickey. What's going on? You said what's going? I'm sorry. You said what is a good Roku smart TV? Apple TV support. Really want Roku? You're thinking. I guess you're looking for like a smart TV. I mean, as far as Roku TV goes, I don't really know a whole lot about it. Hold on, you're saying good smart TV that has Apple TV I really want. I'm sorry, I don't understand your question right now, man. Is there a way you can kind of condense it a little bit? Because I'm struggling with it. What's going on, Brett? You said, what do you think for 75 inch and up? Yeah, I'm seeing 75 inch is definitely one of the things that a lot of people are asking about lately. A lot of people. So we'll try to talk about 75 inch sizes. Typically, guys, to be very honest with you, I'm that guy, right? The one that tells you what nobody is willing to tell you. At 75 inches, you're wasting your money. Think of it like this. You're zooming in a picture that should not be zoomed in to that degree. 4K is not... I know a lot of you guys want that 75 size. If you're serious about 75 inches, anyone watching, just wait until next year when they come out with 8K. Because that's going to be the resolution for that size, and I don't see you benefiting from 4K at all, because the truth is you're just pulling those pixels out way too much, and the crop factor is way too huge, right? And you're going to be losing a lot of resolution and detail. Now, if you're still cool with that and that doesn't bother you, then I can recommend something from this year, 75 inch of course, but I'm strongly trying to urge you against doing that, because that would not be a good idea. Now, that being said, you can probably try to find yourself any 75 inch that fits within your parameters. I know a lot of people are looking at Vizio this year because the P-Series Quantum just went on sale for $14.99. If you're okay with motion artifacts and all the other issues that I've mentioned, then that might not be a bad deal. And even still, though, to be very real, $14.99 for a 75 inch TV, I mean, that should, just being real, that should ring some like red flags for you, right? And I think that's kind of like one of the things that, for me, I know like Vizio, they're not necessarily the brand to go for this year. They just didn't really do all that as far as picture quality is concerned. I think if you're on a budget, though, it's not a bad deal. Just lower your expectations by a lot, and then maybe it'd be worth it. Motion, I can't stress enough how bad that's going to be. As far as 75 inch TVs, again, generally speaking, don't recommend them because there aren't that many 75 inchers that are good. With an exception, maybe you can get the Sony X950G. That's a pretty decent 75-inch TV for the viewing angle aspect of it. But the black levels, again, they're gray, and that's something at that price point you really shouldn't be dealing with. And then, of course, without the gray blacks, then, you know, how else would they get you to upgrade an OLED? You know, it's a dirty game they play. Now, you can get the 75-inch Q8FN for $21.99 right now. That would be my #1 pick for 75-inch, just simply because that TV is, seriously, it's a monster. You guys see what it's doing against all these other TVs. It's not playing with anyone. And I think if you want a really solid 75-incher, that'd probably be where I would push it. Either the Q8FN or the X950G if you're okay with the gray black. Because truthfully speaking, the 950G has a great picture. It's just the black levels really ruin it for a lot of people. Now, let's see what you're saying in the chat here. We've got Shane. What's going on? You said you currently have the 900F. Should you return it and get the H9F? Yes. I would get the H9F over the 900F any day because the 900F has a gray-black problem and all the other issues. I'm sure that makes you as well want to return that television or at least consider it. And again, it's just one of those things, right? It's like it's not made for certain things, and that's one of them. Like, just being a powerhouse, that's just not what the 900F is for. It's kind of like Sony's way of giving you enough to make you want the picture quality of the higher end TVs that they make, and I just think it's a dirty game. So for that, yeah, just go H9F. You see it beats a lot of the TVs out right now, and it's definitely going to be a heavy hitter for sure. We've got
I can't help it.
Mark, what's going on? You said, is Hisense the best 4K gaming and Fire Stick? I don't know a whole lot about Fire Stick, but as far as 4K and gaming, I would say it's a solid 4K gaming experience for sure, especially for a budget TV. 13.5 milliseconds or something like that when I did the input lag test. So, I mean, really, it's quite responsive. The problem is, though, it's, again, not going to have all of the newer features that a lot of people are looking forward to. And now, I have to address this for all you guys watching right now, just to give you guys some buying advice here. If you're out there in the field right now, in the stores, or looking through the magazines or catalogs or whatever, right? Don't be that guy, right? Falling for the HDMI 2.1 features. I can't stress that enough. I'm hearing it a lot in the comments lately about, you know, the C9's better because it has this, the B9's better because it has this new HDMI and it's gonna support 8K, and like the dreams start coming out. The reality is that stuff is not ready, guys. Like, seriously. I mean, I'm just being real. We don't have 4K as the standard. You are not getting 8K resolution on PS5. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. You are going to get upscaled, and then you're going to have to purchase everything again when the time comes. I know they tell you you're going to be future-proofed, and that's why I hate and I bash and attack the mainstream guys so hard, because they're the perpetuators of this problem, where they will tell you that you're good, it's future-proofed, but there's nothing future-proof about what you're doing right now. All you are doing is putting a band-aid on the problem. And trust me when I tell you, you will upgrade again. I cannot stress that. So if you see like the new LG's HDMI 2.1, if your benefit isn't eARC, then you shouldn't be looking at it for the most part. Or if you don't have a PC rig and content already for your PC that is hitting 120 frames at 4K resolution, you shouldn't be looking at HDMI 2.1 right now. It is too soon. Now, that being said, of course, we're all adults, right? And everybody kind of does what they want anyway, but just putting that out there to kind of help, because I see this a lot, like literally all week. Can't stress that enough. Now we've got Flippin' Docs. What's going on? You said 75 needed for home theater, football, and you're saying gaming as well, and 2,500 would be the limit. I would say go Q8FN. It does good for sports motion. Not perfect, but it does good for sports motion. Gaming, you're going to have that. You know, all the trendy features of HDMI 2.1 without HDMI 2.1 being necessary, like variable refresh rate, auto low latency. The brightness is incredible. It dims down on those logos, so you run it in no bloom literally ever. It's fantastic as far as logos are concerned anyway. Black bars are deep, so home theater experience is awesome. And for a 75-inch, you're under budget. It's going to be $21.99 for that, so it's slightly under budget by a couple $100s, but, you know, better than nothing, right? So that'd be my recommendation there. What's going on, Silent Wake? What's happening, man? You said watching tonight in the theater room on a 100 inch. I hope all is good, or all is well. Hey, man, all's doing good for the most part. I'm just not doing the best as far as health and all that good stuff. I'm well under the weather right now. For those who are inquiring and would like to know, for those wondering, I do have that nerve damage issue that I've still been battling with, and you get prescribed medication for that, and it is a pain in the butt because the doctor forgot to tell me the side effects of this damn medication, and it is a pain, literally a pain, to come off of this medication. For those who want to know what that medication is, I will tell you that it is not something that you want to play around with. They're legal steroids, you know, prednisone. You don't want to mess with that stuff. Dangerous. You ever get like me and you need some sort of medication, don't take prednisone. Don't do it. It sucks. Even right now, I'm like sweating like it's like 1,000 degrees in here, and it's like quite cool. So it's pretty miserable. That being said, other than that, all is well. Now, what's going on, Dathan? I hope I said your name right. What's going on, man? You said, hello, Quantum, first time watching you live. Thanks, man, I appreciate it. We've got Faber. What's going on? You said, mainly watching, I'm sorry, what? You said, mainly watching anime. Would you recommend the X950G or Q70R? Both are in the same price. H9F isn't sold here. I was thinking Sony's upscaling would be important, but it does quantum color, but does QLED color matter. Alright, so for this one, I would say, for anime, the X950G is a superior TV than the Q70R because you have extra abilities to, again, just get that tone mapping where you need it with Sony's X1 Ultimate processor. And the Q70R is really just their, like, half step, like, of the half steps. I mean, if you go see that TV in the store, you'll see what I mean. The Q70 is a really ugly TV. It is very void of any real pop and amazing quantum dot, like, brightness and color that the the X950G does have. And I think you'll be better off with that as far as that goes. Now, it kind of takes a turn for the worse, though. Like, upscaling is good, but it's not perfect. Because you have such a powerful upscaling chip, you run into a problem where when you get into slow frame rate content like 24p in movies, for example, you'll get this weird, like, blurring artifacting that happens. A perfect reference for this would be Avengers Infinity Wars during the Wakanda war scene, and you'll run into, like, where motion just gets horrible, and it starts, like, I don't know if it's like pixelating, but it breaks down, and you can clearly see that the motion isn't as good as it should be for the money that you paid. And that's the thing there. But so I hope I'm being coherent enough on this one. X950G for your anime uses, and they both have quantum dot color. If you go ahead, you can even verify this using RTing's data. You can see that the the X950 is still hitting over the 90 percentile, 93, 94, whatever it is, of the DCI-P3 as well, the same as the Q70R. So again, a lot of misinformation being spread about QLED technology. QLED, guys, is literally just a made-up word for anyone else out there wondering. Like, if it came down to, like, Sony and Samsung, right, and you're like, but Samsung has QLED, so does Sony. It's called triluminous, which basically is a red, green, blue, green backlighting system. I did a whole video on it explaining that. Please check the playlists. I definitely have a lot of that backtracking information there, but essentially, if you guys were, like, torn between that information, there's no need to be, because Samsung is basically doing the same thing that Sony is doing as far as QLED. They just call it something different, a lot like NanoCell, if you know what I mean. Now, we've got Q8FN for $2,100 wear. That's on Amazon. You can grab that. There. We've got what large 4K HDR Roku Smart TV would be a good purchase. Working on the PlayStation 5. I honestly don't really know of any good Roku TV this year. They're all pretty bad. I mean, you could try your hand at the TCL 6 series, maybe. I mean, really, like, Roku TV this year, not good. They didn't really do a whole lot brilliant for the money that you're going to pay. Honestly, you're better off buying a Roku TV device and then going that route, because right now, seriously, they're bad TVs. What's going on, Brett? You said, in reality, how close are we to having 8K programming? Is next year the magic year for 8K? No. So what's going to happen next year, and I mean, you guys can probably use this live stream as a reference point for probably an exact prediction, because I'm pretty good like this. But the reality is, next year what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of devices come out, and they're going to be talking about upscaling to 8K. Even when the new consoles launch later that year, it's going to be all of these techniques for upscaling to 8K. Kind of like when PS4 Pro came out, how it was all temporal injection and things like that. This is indicative of our technology not matching the demands of our market, and we're not there yet, and we're not going to be able to bridge those gaps overnight. But they're going to try to tell you that you are by, again, more HDMI 2.1 dedicated devices, and trying to claim that you're going to have these features that aren't going to be there, dude. And I think that's going to be one of the big problems that we're going to have next year, because a lot of people are going to buy these TVs thinking, okay, so it supports 8K or it upscales to 8K, but honestly, supporting 8K and doing native 8K is entirely different, and those are going to be the catchwords they use. Be very careful and watch out for supporting 8K. Support means that it's upscaled. Native resolution usually is indicated very clearly and outlined without asterisks and anything like that. So can't stress that enough. And I know a lot of my PS5 guys and Xbox guys out there that are going to be buying these consoles, looking at that, reading these specs and the rumors online, and I'm sure a lot of you truly believe PS5 is going to be 8K at 60p. And I'm telling you right now, we don't even have 4K happening like that, guys. Like, really, seriously, listen to what a lot of the people that have played PS5, seen PS5 through some dev kits, the developers are saying about it. It's not going to do all that stuff for you, and I'm just trying to nail that home, because it's going to happen regardless. I can't stop the spread of, I guess, misinformation and misfortune on the behalf of some people, but I'm doing what I can. I really am. We've got Rex. What's going on, man? You said, will the AAG be bright enough for daytime? Tons of windows. We do have tons of windows where I'm at here. As far as daytime usage and things like that, I would say no. I would not recommend it for a glass house, right? Like, if you've got upwards of like 6 windows in a room, that is not gonna be the best, obviously, because the brightness is not that high. I mean, you're talking, this thing trends on average of, what is it, 350 nits? 352 average. Now, what they do is they do a gradual falling off with ABL, where it just gradually gets lower and lower as far as like the peak nits, so you don't notice the immediate fall off unless a bright blast happens on the screen. Now, I have settings. I know a lot of you guys looking for these settings are waiting for them. I do have them. I've spent an ample amount of time making sure I've completely learned the ins and outs of the AAG, and there is something I can do to help you guys, again, get better brightness in some situations. But for Bright Room, no, that's not the top pick at all. It's not incredibly dim though, so like, if you watch the second channel, for anybody wondering, I'm putting up exclusive gaming content on my second channel where I'm testing various lighting conditions with my lights off, with my lights on, and you guys can go check that out to see, like, even in normal environments, which I think would be more tailored to your homes, how the TV is holding up in that regard. That's something you guys can check out there. But no, not for Bright Rooms. I'm trying to see if I can find the other half of this question here. It says Bright Room, where are we? I can't find the other half of it. Chat loaded up too quickly, so I hope that helped answer the question a little bit, man. And shout out to Silent Wake for donating $14.99. As you know, brother, it helps the channel out, and I truly appreciate it, man. Really, I do. You said, just wanted to show some support. Above all else, man, take care of yourself. I know how health issues can keep you down, but we are here for you in this community, dude. And I really do appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. That really does mean a lot, because as some of you guys might know, and as I'm sure you know, man, I'm legit struggling with this nerve damage, and like this prednisone is kicking my ass right now. So I'm all over the place, and you know, even now I'm like in a heat sweat. My wife had to bring me a fan, you know, to like cool me off, because I'm not like even I'm not even okay right now. But like I try to do this service for you guys because I know like Black Friday's happening. You guys need help, and I keep missing these live streams because I get sick. I don't know what it is about Fridays, but I keep getting sick. So I'm trying, right? That's the best I could do, right? So thank you so much for that, man. I really do appreciate the inspiring words of confidence. It's part of the reason I do this, man. It really is. So thank you. All right, we've got more coming in here. I'm trying to read all these. Not very good at squinting right now. Hold on. We've got...
challenges you, you sniveling worm.
Yes, but DirecTV won't be in 8K for another 100 years. Yeah, that's true. We've got... okay, so now I've got the chat loaded back where it needs to be, I believe. And it says, holidays, happy holidays, from A580. I appreciate that, man. Happy holidays to you as well, and anyone else who I can't make contact with before the holiday happens. We've got Edgardo, I think. I hope I said your name right. He said, I bought the Q70 82-inch, and for me it's perfect. I was looking at the Q80 82-inch, but it's $1,000 more. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, if it's good for you, I mean, that's also great, you know. But the thing to keep in mind with my recommendations, right? When I recommend a TV, I look at a couple different factors, and it's not to put down any of your TVs, because I'm sure, like, if you watch this live stream, right, and you have one of the TVs I don't recommend, you probably feel like, well, I don't know why he doesn't recommend it, I like it. But the thing is, I look at it from multiple aspects, and the biggest one is, as time goes on, how will this TV hold up against other TVs, and will you be more inclined to want to upgrade? And I can safely say with the Q70R, you will definitely want to upgrade again as time goes on, and that's why I don't recommend these TVs. I recommend TVs that like keep you locked in and make you, again, it's like watching your content all over again, like a brand new feeling. That's what I try to give. And so when I recommend something, I make sure that whatever I'm saying, you know, putting my reputation on it, my name on it, saying, hey, this is good to go, that's the TV that you get. So, hey, you like the Q70, that's fantastic. I couldn't hope for a better outcome for you. But ultimately, I just could never recommend that TV in a million years, because it's bad. Like compared to its counterparts, like what it did this year, not good at all. And when you look at it in person, like, I don't know about you, but like for me, the colors were oversaturated to the point of literally no return. The image was over sharpened, and it didn't really look very natural. And there were a bunch of little nuanced differences here and there. I did not like the anti-glare coating that they put on the screen. It was like really bad, like very, very bad. And I think that, again, those things add up, and it really hurts that TV. So it's like, you're better off for the money going with the Q8FN, because I know it's about the same price. And to not do that does not make any sense for me personally to recommend to you guys. So again, not trying to dog on anybody or anyone's TV, but I do want to, again, just put that out there as to why I don't recommend that stuff. Now, Dathan, what's going on? You said, is picture quality closer to the 75-inch? Is the picture quality closer for the 75-inch Q8FN and Q9FN, or even at the larger... I don't understand. Are you asking, like, as the zones increase, or like as the size increases, that the image looks different? Because in my experience, the Q8FN around the board has been better than the Q9FN in the following ways. So your black levels are going to be better on the Q8FN or the Q9FN, but when you get to colors, that's where the Q9 takes the second seat, because it just can't keep up. Again, also you run into situations where contrast also becomes very odd, because they favor black levels more, especially on their newest firmware update. It does not look the greatest. And so you run into these weird inconsistencies, but the biggest one is that color is just greatly understated to the point of, like, really, you never feel like you have enough color coming out of that TV. And for that, I mean, the Q8FN is just better all day, every day. Now, there are also some mess and you can't do anything with it. But those people likely have never discovered that wonderful thing called color, where that you can ramp down and change your color values. And I'm telling you, if you set color accurately on the Q8FN versus the Q9, there's a massive difference, and you shouldn't pay more for that. And you guys, to kind of point this out for anyone out there who's watching, right? If you go on Amazon, you can see that the Q8FN sold out before the Q9FN, even though the Q9FN dropped to $14.99. That says everything. In fact, the 65-inch Q8FN rose in price another $100 to deter people from buying that variant, because people were buying it in that many waves of people. I mean, that's, you don't get any more clear or concise than that, right? And even now, the 65 inch is sold out, and the Q9FN is still sitting there. I'm saying, man, there's something wrong with that TV, and color is it. So we've got Chris Way. I hope I said your name right. What's going on, man? You said, not sure if asked already. You said the H9F is currently $8.99. How low do you think it'll go? I don't think it'll go lower than $7.99 for Black Friday, if that. This is an incredibly difficult TV to track down, especially in retailers. Your best bet, for the most part, will probably still be online. And honestly, you're going to be sitting at that high price point for a while. I mean, I truly don't see it going lower than $7.99. Really don't, man. Rick, what's going on? You said, what do you think about Vizio's M-Series? Serious. Vizio's M-Series, I think, because of the price point, it's attractive, right? I think it's good for the price point, but the TV itself is bad. You have, again, all the same problems that you have across the new 2019 line, from like the Vizio P-Series Quantum to the P-Series Quantum X. So you still have all those same issues. I mean, you don't have an app store, you don't have built-in voice control features, you don't have the ability to go in and make sure that when you're in a certain picture mode that you're not like manually doing all of this stuff over and over again outside. No, that's the H9, I think. You'll forgive me here if I'm jumbling up my thoughts here. No, what it was on that one, it was when you go into a certain HDMI, your test patterns don't work and things like that for calibration, which more so pertain to like the professional crowd. But then you have issues where when you go into, again, some movies, sometimes things drop out. I had a lot of audio dropouts. That was the one thing I've recognized as the big problem for me. HDMI cutouts, that was a problem. The pixelation and the motion, that's also a big issue. So these are things that I think would make it a serious no-buy. And honestly, for that price point, you're better off with the, what is it, the H9F. I think like 55 inch goes for like, what is it, like $5.99 or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it goes for. And that'd be a better buy as a serious thing for you, man. So I hope that helped you out, Rick. What's going on, Edgardo? You said I had the LG 9000 86-inch HDMI 2.1, but that one has a few problems with local dimming and blooming, awful black levels. Yeah, it's a pretty bad TV. Francisco, what's going on? I have the A9G, and it's really good in the daytime. I mean, it's not like these TVs are bad in the daytime, but if we're talking about, like, you know, like glass house type environments where you have like the brightest bright room, like, I don't think that would be a good recommendation. We've got Rex. You said love prednisone. You're the only one, man. I can't stand it. I'm actually pretty pissed off with my doctor about it, but you know, what can I do? What's going on, Barca? What's happening? You said, would you think a piece of advice I would have, hold on, I gotta read this carefully. I have a medium budget and was looking for the Q70, then I started comparing it with the Q80, and then I decided to go for it, then I saw the Q90. A piece of advice, don't waste your money on 28 or 2019 QLEDs. They're going to be outdone quite easily by whatever comes next year, because this is a stopgap year for them, and they're not trying, dude. Like, they're really not. I know right now it's hard because the options are limited, but you're gonna be kicking yourself when for the same price you can get a better TV next year. Just saying. Waiting for mini LED. What's going on, Healthful Servant? You said, could you do me a favor and tell me the distance between the front and back legs on your Q8FN? I actually don't know that right now, and there's no way I'm in the physical condition to do that right now. I could try to estimate it, but they should have measurements, at least at the very least, product measurements with the stand on most retail sites. so that should help a ton. But right now I physically can't do it if I wanted to. What's going on, Enoch? You said, hey, did you have the chance to view Sony's first 4K X900A? I actually haven't had a chance to review the X900A as far as, you know, getting it in and owning it and all that stuff, but that's a really old TV. That's like 2013. I mean, I saw it, had some time to look at it, but not like actually like review it. But yeah, no, I saw it. I mean, what I saw from it looked pretty decent, but I can't speak to its overall performance. But it looked like a decent TV, and I love the design of that year. But no, I haven't had a chance to do much. But I think it's decent. I don't know entirely. Don't quote me on that, man. We've got Flippin' Docs. What's going on? You said Amazon offers a 4-year protection plan for the Q8FN for $131. Would you buy that coverage? I would not, because I don't trust Amazon's coverage. I don't know anything about it. Never really had any experience with it, so I'm skeptical by association. A58 says health for servant. It's 8 inches on my Q8FN. Thank you for that. We've got Armand. What's going on, man? You said so happy to be here. Thank you for all your efforts and what you do on TV reviews, and I appreciate that as well, man. I really do. What's going on, WisdomNet9? You said, how does the AAG compare to the H9F? What am I missing from the Q8 or the Sony that the H9F can't do? I think this is a great question. So what are you missing? The A9G, or rather the A8G, is going to give you a three-dimensional draw to the image. And it's basically because of that OLED technology, of course, because each pixel, again, giving off its own light source. But then on top of that, you have object-based HDR remastering and just regular object-based rendering. And that gives a three-dimensional pop that none of those TVs outside of this can do. So that's one of the big benefits there, and that's really what you're not getting. Aside from that, the H9F doesn't have the same viewing angles of OLED, and neither does the Q8FN. But aside from that, then things start getting really, really similar, because as far as color goes, there are moments where the color exceeds, you know, the Q8FN and H9F, but then there are a good many moments where it falls a great deal behind, especially when we get to primary colors and things of that nature. Peak brightness, that's a total win for the H9F and the Q8FN. Those things are going to be much better. But I would say, like, from my memory, what I'm remembering here, what really bugged me the most with the H9F is that no matter how hard I tried, you had a choice to make. And either you were going to have a slightly soft picture by dropping your sharpness down to 10, or going up to 11 and having a really over-sharpened picture, or slightly over-sharpened picture that didn't really work for every kind of content. So it was like an ultimatum, but then there was always like this like flatness, I guess, about the picture. Like you couldn't get the contrast tone mapped tightly around objects as much as you would have wanted it to be. But I mean, other than that, there are really petty differences at best. And as it still sits, the H9F still has probably the best color I've ever seen on a TV. Oh man, so you're not really missing a whole lot. You're missing little nuanced things like the acoustic surface feature, which I don't even use, to be honest with you. And just a couple oddball things here and there. But for the most part, I mean, really, I think the H9F is a better TV than the A8G, just being real with you. I just didn't have the patience to have it shipped to me because they damaged TVs in transit, and I didn't feel like going through that. But outside of that, I really still think that the H9F is an absolute winner, and you couldn't have done better. I think you did a great job. Fantastic. You did better than me, even, because I didn't even end up with the H9F personally. But that's just what I kind of feel there. What's going on, Brett? You said I'm on the fence this year. Wait till next year for 75-inch? Yeah, I would wait till next year for 75-inch, because not only are TVs getting bigger next year, right? They're also increasing the kind of local dimming zones we're going to be seeing. You're getting an increase of peak brightness, but also the technology on these LED TVs are improving year after year, right? So you already know, like, they're already trying to push 8K. Bigger is better. That's the mantra for next year, and they're going to be, again, pushing up more affordable large screen size TVs as well, as of course the year goes on. You can expect for about $2,000 to find an absolute monster 65-inch, and then of course 75-inch will correlate as follows as well. I think the price for 75 inches will always start off at like the $3,000 to $4,000 price point, but then as time goes on drop into the 2,100 area. But I feel like next year the technology is going to be much more advanced than it is right now. What's going on, Rick? You said, what do you think about Vizio? I think I answered that one. We've got Goat City. What's going on? You said Best Buy is still protecting the consumer, deleting all the reviews of the TCL. I see that. I actually am noticing that Best Buy is deleting the hell out of literally everyone who dares to talk about the real review. And I thought it was like super cool because there were a couple of people that reposted my initial review, and they were saying like, hey, you know, this is what the product is. And so I thought it's cool that people were actually reposting my review, and Best Buy still pulled their review. And then even people that leave regular reviews as well. So food for thought. You might want to stop trusting these reviews if you're trusting them, because it's definitely unfair out here for sure. All right, so we've got I'm gonna mess that up. Sat Gender, what's going on? You said, do you think there'll be a better TV than the Q8FN or H9F in 2020? Yeah, I think there would be. I think that can easily happen next year for sure, because the technology is improving. We've got Derek, what's going on? You said 55-inch H9F. Will that be any cheaper? It probably won't be. Should you add a warranty, you won't really need one. We've got Richard. You said it's $5.99 in my town. H9F. Should I get it now? I'd get the H9F now. Why not? It's a good deal. Salvador, what's going on? You said M series Quantum better buy over the X800. Oh, you guys are really picking the worst ones here. I mean, honestly, man, like, I can't stress, don't get the 800 series. It has no benefit. Yes, the M series is definitely a better buy over that, only because for the M series you have local dimming that is solid to a degree where it could at least give you deep black, where the X800 series is an edge light and it doesn't do that. But typically speaking, to be very honest, if you wanted an official recommendation, I don't recommend you buy that TV. I recommend, if you're in the price point of those TVs, you go with the Hisense H9F. That's number one. If it's not in your country, I would probably wait till next year. I mean, just keeping it real with you, man. And then we've got, can't decide between Sony X950G and A8G. That's easy. Go A8G. The X950G's gray blacks will drive you crazy, and the motion is not fantastic on the X950G. Despite what you may read on Artings, it is not fantastic. You will have that motion blurring problem. What's going on? Chansey? I hope I said your name right. Chansey? I hope I said that right. You said, I got the Q8FN because of your channel. I love it. Thanks. No problem, man. We've got Samsung RU8000. That is a hard pass. Do not buy that TV. Any TV really without quantum dots this year, you're not winning. You're not winning at all with that. Especially as we get into PS5, Xbox, the next generation of Blu-ray players. All that stuff is going to support more dynamic color, more standards that have yet to be implemented yet. And you're going to get left behind with something without quantum dot for sure. Luke Keeper, what's going on? You said, which TV has the best motion for sports? I saw the X950G today. The ball was nearly invisible on a play pass. I would say for sports, you're probably better off with the H9F. It's an awesome TV. For sports, it looks great. If you can't find the H9F, it gets hard from there, because a lot of the TVs I recommend are 2018 TVs. Yeah, it gets pretty rough from there, I mean, honestly. Now, the X950G, if you like that one, I mean, I guess, give it a try, but just be mindful when it gets to movies and other things like that, you'll run into some problems there. What's going on, Donald Lee? You said we'll see 12-bit panels. Will we see 12-bit panels anytime soon? No, I don't think we'll be seeing those anytime soon. RU8000 with Xbox. I would just do an Xbox and ditch the RU8000. First time, man, let me say thank you for what you do. Very informative. Is the A8G 55-inch $14.99 a good price? Yeah, that's a good price. Solid deal. I'd definitely snag it. Do you have Philips TVs in North America? Not any good ones. We've got, I can't tell the difference from motion blur, the TCL Q825. You said, should I get it since the difference doesn't affect me? No, I would not buy TCL. Dude, oh my god. That is the worst TV you could possibly choose to put $2,000 down on. I mean, go watch my videos on it, bro. Like, the playlist, it's terrible. Like, the near black issues are not going to be fixed. Anytime you run into near black, you're going to run into clouding, so this includes when you turn the TV on. The Roku problem that you're going to run into, you're still going to run into motion issues. I guarantee you, even if you don't notice it yet, you will notice that motion. The screen has an ugly, like, finish that doesn't handle reflections well. Like, it's not a good TV for $2,000. Like, could not warn you enough on that. Thanks for the advice. Your word is law. I'll definitely look into the H9F instead. I appreciate that, man. Not sure I'm trying to be the law of the world as far as my word. I'm just really trying to help you so you don't, you know what I mean? So you don't waste the money. We've got, so is Quantum X 75-inch garbage? I mean, your name's sake after all. Yeah, it's garbage. I would not put down that money on the Quantum X. I mean, 75 inches for $14.99. Yes, on paper, that's a great deal. Yes, the specs on paper, fantastic. In reality, that TV will disappoint the hell out of you, man. You're seriously better off going with, again, the H9F because it's, I don't know, it's just doing it this year. Chris, what's going on? You said, is the H9F worth it over the H8F? Yes, it is. What am I missing? Color. Color is the big thing. Brightness, black level control. Those are the differences between those two. You said, we got another comment. Hey, I have a Q6FN 55-inch. Should I upgrade to the Q8FN even over the H9F? Yeah, the Q8FN is going to be an awesome upgrade for the Q6FN. And it'll transfer laterally for you, so the familiarity and the learning curve really won't be there. Because it's the same menu and all that good stuff there. I'm getting ready to wrap up the live stream real soon here, so I'm trying to bang out like my final comments here, guys. We've got, should I wait for the H9F? No, I'd get it now because I don't think you're going to get much more of a deal on Cyber Monday, man. H9F or Samsung Q70, you got to go H9F. Q70 is a significantly inferior TV. We've got, will the H9F be a better buy for a TV? It would definitely be a better buy. What's going on, Chintu Pat? We've got James. What's going on? You said, do you have any info on the UX or the ULED XZ being released next year? Not anything exclusive. Nobody sends me any specific information. I only have like a handful of insiders that occasionally share some information with me. But so far, nothing that you couldn't find right now. We've got Hello Quantum from Perth, Australia. Shout out to Nick. I appreciate that. Thank you. Or Nico. What's going on? Perez, you said, have you thought of reviewing projectors? I haven't really given it much thought. I don't have the space for it. We've got Finnick. What's going on? You said, thanks for the advice. The AAG. Sorry, you said for the advice. A go for the AAG. Yes. The Q8FN has built-in speakers, right? Yes, the Q8FN has wonderful speakers on that thing. And they are grossly understated all the time. Like, seriously, they even have a little bit of bass to it, which I didn't expect, so it's quite nice. So that being said, I'm going to end up wrapping up this live stream. I'm going to call it a night, try to get some rest or something. I don't know, man. This prednisone is just too much right now. But I hope by at least giving this information out, that was able to help some of you guys out. So before we wrap this whole live stream up, what's the takeaway? What are the Black Friday deals looking like? Essentially, if you're looking for an OLED experience, you have tons of deals right now. Now is the time to act for your OLED experiences. So you can get the B6 right now, $16.96, right? That's for the 65-incher. Now, a special note here, I know a lot of you guys are willing to pay the extra $100 from like the A8G for the guys looking at that model, thinking between the A8G and the C9. Don't pay the difference. It's really not worth it. I mean, seriously, you're getting seriously not the best for that. I mean, I can't stress that enough. The processing is making the huge difference there. Now, when we talk about the B7, or not the B7, the B9, 1796, I mean, between that and the B6, I would, or the B8 rather, sorry, I'm mixing up names here, I know, but long night. I would just go with last year's OLED because honestly, those new features, while cute, I wouldn't pay $100 extra for them. But that being said, if you'd rather pay $100 extra just to have the features, I get that part of it too, but why not save a bit of cash if you can't? And as far as the LED side of things, when we talk about QLEDs and things, I would just say the Q8FN still remains my #1 recommendation, all the way up until your 75-inch screen size. We've got, you know, I know for those who don't mind edge-lit and things like that, you can get yourself a Q7FN from last year for like $1,099. That ain't bad either. I don't recommend any TCLs or most Roku TVs. I don't recommend any 2019 QLEDs from Samsung. I really just hope that you guys are being helped in some way, and the H9F above all is the one that I still say is the TV of 2019, is the king of TV for the price to value ratio, and if you want the best home theater viewing experience, that's going to be what you get, followed by, of course, the A8G. Those two TVs this year have just been absolute rock stars. And that will conclude this week's live stream. I will definitely be coming back next week if I can, and doing everything that I can to help you guys at that point in time. Especially as these deals start changing and we get closer into Black Friday, I'm going to be doing what I can to make sure you guys are getting those deals. So keep an eye on the community tabs. If I see anything crazy, like low in price, I'll post it there for you. And that being said, you guys have a blessed and wonderful night. Take care of your families, take care of yourselves, health and all that good stuff, right? And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.